ora tātou. It's really great to be here. Look, I'd like to say thank you. I gather some of my old neighbours are in the hall tonight, and so I hope to catch you over lunch. It's really good to see faces from people I know over the last few years. The local board's role is really all about community, and that's if within the council beast of bureaucracy you want to achieve something for your neighbours, please, I encourage you, work with your local boards. Every 3 to 4 years we write this document, it sets our direction, and if you can get in there and pester your boards through your community or through council to write up your visions in there, that's where you're going to make some of that happen, because we'll put money behind it. That's a really important document. Please get out and use it, and use your elected reps. That's why we're there. We advocate for communities. We advocate to enable things to happen right across the organisation, but we also enable things to happen by funding projects ourselves. And each of us has one of those plans. There we are, there's 21 of us right across the Auckland region, and we achieve a lot of things. Use us, please, because we're only as good as the strength of the people that we work on behalf of. I wanted to talk initially just about Neighbours Day, Aotearoa. So I'd like to acknowledge that it started in 2009. One of the key people behind that was Rebecca Harrington, who's not here today because she's out starting a family of her own, which is just really fantastic. And those of you who know her, I'm sure we'll hear some good news soon. Neighbours Day Aotearoa started 4 years ago. It was a collaboration with Lifewise and the Takapuna Methodist Church. It's grown and picked up inspiring communities, neighbourhood support, mental health foundation. It went national in 2011. And there's a video that goes with it. That's their good work, and I guess I'm giving them a plug because I hope if every one of you go away and do something in your neighbourhood for next Neighbours Day, this has been a huge success. Our project came out of that. These are some of the statistics that the national campaign have achieved. So it's around making communities safer, people being more connected and cohesive as a community. For our project, I went to a meeting 2.5 years ago when I was first elected to council. I came from very much a community focus on how I lived my life and worked in my own community. I went to a meeting and Rachel was there and said, what can you do in your communities and in your organisation to make a difference? So I went away and I thought it has to be simple, it has to be smart, it has to be something our communities can use and we can enable that to happen. That was a real challenge in the bureaucracy of council, I have to say. You would think to be able to grant organisations $200 to go and do something that was really important to them would be easy, and it wasn't. And it hasn't been, and it's been an ongoing problem, and that's one of the issues I'm continuing to try and strive for to achieve. The Albert Eden Neighbours Day grant was born out of that. Anyone that lived in the area was able to apply for up to $200 to go and do something in their street the weekend of Neighbours Day. We wanted it to be street level initiatives, and the majority of people chose to have street parties or street barbecues. What it was though was we knew it would create connections in the street and people would come out of their homes and talk to each other and meet. So it was nice. Everyone got out and got to bump in their own neighbourhood. We put aside $5,000 and we didn't get the full take-up of all that money. We've continued it this year and we've done the same thing. And people use the money to buy bouncy castles, to run competitions. They have lucky draws to win a fruit tree to plant in your own garden or plant out on the street so the kids walking to school can pick some fruit. We don't allow alcohol to be purchased with any of that money from our grant. And we asked all our communities to write back, send us photos and send us a story about what they gained from their $200 in their initiative that weekend. So we had sports games, we had food sharing cooperative start up out of that. It was a really worthwhile venture, and I urge other people to go ahead and do something. We had a street where there were 15 new babies under the age of 1. No one knew each other. They all came together and started their own coffee group. So that created a network for that street that will go on as their children move into preschool and into school themselves. They'll be able to set up walking school buses and all those things. These are more pictures of our great communities. And food brings people together, and I guess we all know that. And so thanks to Crave for today, because I'd like the recipe off that cashew slice. It was awesome. And these are photos that came through this year's Neighbours Day, and it's just about bringing people together and having a great time. This is Dave. Dave Watson, no relation to me, but good all the same. And they got a $200 grant, and he couldn't be here today because he's out doing some sustainability work somewhere else. He was on the national program last week talking about the best song ever written, and he was talking about sustainability.
Hi, way to start. It's a really compelling way of getting the people out on the street, getting them involved, and then you can start looking at bigger initiatives on your street. So I really recommend Neighbours Day. I really recommend going for the funding. It's a good focus, gets everyone focused on the day, and there's resources there to help you. So get into it, and thank you very much. And share and what they wanted to happen on their street. And one thing became really clear pretty quickly was that everyone wanted to have a party. And in order to make that happen, we accessed the Neighbours Day resources. We found out about the Neighbours Day initiative, accessed the resources, put an application in for some funding, and we were successful, so we had a bit of money to play with, help us with a bit of food, and then we got the ball rolling on organising a party. And it went really well. The whole street got behind us. We had a band come along. We had bouncy castle from someone on the street. We had barbecues lined up down the street. We had kids running around with face painting and chalk, and it was really something. We had about 100 people turn up, and we had some amazing things happen, like people who had lived on the street for over 30 years, respectively, meeting for the first time at our party, which I think is an amazing success and a really great result if only that happened at our party. But the party also was a fantastic starting point. People met, we got to see whose kids were who, we got to know where people lived, and I'd seen people at this party that had been on the street all the time that I'd been there. I've been here for 11 years, and I'd never seen them before. And it was a really great thing to do, to pull everyone out and put everyone into context and get them to meet. And once everyone meets and you get an idea of who's who and where they are, you start to have conversations, and it opens up a whole possibility for other things to happen. For example, in our street we've had a school walking bus come about, and that's actually become quite a neat little community in itself within our street community. All the mums and dads and kids who are involved in that, and that's become quite a tight little thing. We've had shared gardening resources. We've had other little mini parties pop up as well, barbecues on the street. It's really great. So, but essentially, it's just opened us up for bigger possibilities, and there will be bigger possibilities. Everyone is keen to continue the energy and start looking at things around food and energy, and this is really where my project was going. And on that note, I'd just like to point out that there will be some initiatives happening around Auckland around getting streets together. Viv Heslop will be talking to you later on today about the Sustainability Street program, so listen to her, and if you're interested in getting your street together, that's another thing you can probably hook into, so listen out for that. But anyway, Neighbours Day and the party is a great way to start. It's a really compelling way of getting the people out on the street, getting them involved, and then you can start looking at bigger initiatives on your street. So I really recommend Neighbours Day. I really recommend going for the funding. It's a good focus, gets everyone focused on the day, and there's resources there to help you. So get into it, and thank you very much.
So have a great rest of the day, and I just challenge other local board members that are here to look if they can roll something out similar, and thank you.